gang, it's Leanne here. Welcome, welcome. Today I'm super excited to announce that we have guest presenter Gretchen Meyers coming on. Gretchen is an amazing personal trainer, fitness instructor specializing in kettlebells. And so we're gonna wait for her to jump on. Okay. Go live with Gretchen. So we're waiting for Gretchen to come on. And oh, hi, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. You know, I dropped my phone yesterday. Of course, right on the cement. I don't know if it looks weird. It's all cracked. Is it look fuzzy?
Okay.
Okay. Yours is so clear. I'm glad you're doing the demos because I'm like, oh my God, it just hit it the right way. I was like so sad.
That's horrible. I know.
All right. So I was just telling everybody that we were having gang. So this is Gretchen. Gretchen is a certified personal trainer, a kettlebell instructor, and a lover of moving in all ways. And gang, it shows that she's super passionate, and just watching her. She has been training clients and teaching group classes for over 15 years. And 2 years ago, she decided to go into business for herself by teaching kettlebell classes out of her garage and then training clients in her home. And then since then, her business has moved completely online. Amazing. Yes, where she continues to teach classes, train clients, and offer other fitness programs for those looking to get strong, get mobile, and be durable. Welcome, Gretchen.
Thanks for having me, Leanne. It's so fun. I'm so happy to get to see you and talk to you.
I know. Let's tell our people where you're at.
Okay, where I live?
Yes, the state.
I am currently in extremely cold Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yes, nice. So it's pretty cold. It's exact opposite of your climate, Leanne.
Yeah, so let's tell us how cold it is.
Currently, it's 20 degrees outside. What's the temperature where you're at, Leanne?
I mean, probably I don't know, 80. It's always 80 to 85. You know, we can't handle. It gets 65, 70 sometimes, and we're freezing. So I cannot even imagine 20.
You would not do well here.
No, we wouldn't. My sister recently, a couple of years ago, moved to Seattle. And we visited her in winter 2 years ago, and we were like, oh shit, it's crazy cold.
It's not even that bad.
So then when you're in your house, do you have to have a heater?
I mean, the heat's always on, Leanne. It's just
For real?
Always pumping. And I'm wearing, this is I'm going to be moving, so I have a tank top on, but I'm normally hat, hooded sweatshirt, all the things.
In the house.
In the house.
With the heater.
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
Totally.
Crazy. All right, well, we'll get you moving then. Okay, so the first question we have is, I have a lot of clients, I work with mostly ladies, and they would love to start using kettlebells, in their daily workouts, but they've been fearful to kind of they're so intimidated by this bell heavy shape looking thing, right? So what's the best advice you have for a total newbie to kettlebell training?
Okay, so I think the best advice that I have is to just play with it. Okay, so kettlebells, they have a couple different ways that you can use them. The two different ways that you can use kettlebells are called ballistics, and those are those exercises using momentum. Those are your swings. If you've ever seen, if people are familiar with what a swing is, it's when you come up and you swing that bell up front. That's a kettlebell swing. Those moves generate power and help you harness power. But then there's the other side of kettlebells, which are the grinds. And the grinds are your typical strength moves, think holding a kettlebell and squatting, or an overhead press or something. So I like when people don't have a coach to teach them through the ballistic moves, I say stick with the grinds, because you're going to have to get kind of familiar with holding a kettlebell as opposed to a dumbbell, because with a dumbbell, when you hold it in the middle, it's an even weight distribution on each side, right? It has weight here, weight here. With a kettlebell, let me just grab one, right? So it has this offset weight. So when you're holding a bell, even to just hold it into a squat position, there's a lot more kind of maneuvering in order to stay stable. So it
Right.
requires a lot more out of like your shoulder and your core in order for you to stay stable. So it's just, even the shape of it is going to be a different kind of exercise for you as you move into squats, or, you know, even like if you're holding it in this way, you can do a bicep curl, just kind of the basic things.
Okay.
And my favorite move in type of grind in a move is an overhead press. You'll notice the real difference. I'm trying to back up so you can see my whole arms. You'll notice a real difference when you're pressing a dumbbell overhead. It's a way different kind of move, because with a dumbbell you'll have a weight here and a weight here.
Right.
With this one, you've got the weight on the back, so you're constantly kind of figuring out how to keep this arm locked overhead, you know?
Right.
So yeah, so just kind of start with the basics, things that you would do normally, like bicep curls and squats, and kind of get used to the move with the offset weight like that.
Okay, so again, just to recap, so there's ballistic and there's grinds. I love those two terms, and you say like for beginners, stick with the grinds. Yeah, you could totally see when you were doing that how much more body recruitment is required to just keep that overhead, right? Exactly. Yeah. Okay, cool. Exactly. That's so awesome. Okay, so now they're at the point, they're like, okay, Leanne or Gretchen, I want to add a kettlebell. I'll play with a kettlebell at home. I'll try. I want to add it to my gym toolbox. What weight do you recommend? And then they always get confused because most of them are in kilograms. Right. So what do you recommend for like total newbie to kettlebell training?
So, okay, total newbie to kettlebell training. So the thing about kettlebells and what I want people to use them for are the ballistics, because a lot of the other stuff that you can do with a dumbbell as well. So I would get a heavier one. I would definitely get a heavier bell, and that's subjective. But here's a little tip on how to pick out a heavy bell. If you can pick up your bell and directly raise it to your shoulders, like a front raise, it's too light. You want to go a little heavier. Because
too light, you don't want to be able to lift it, front raise. Oh.
You don't want to be able to front raise it, because if you're front raising it, you're doing a arm exercise. Yeah. What I want for you, if you're going to have one bell in your arsenal, you're eventually going to work up to swings, because that's just a foundational movement that if you're going to have a kettlebell, that's what you should be doing. So you work up onto that you'd start with deadlifts and kind of go from there, which would be another conversation. But you want a bell that's fairly heavy, one that you cannot front raise, and one that you find challenging. So for a lot of times, for like a complete new person, I would not say anything less than 15 pounds or a 6 kg. Usually, you know, it's just, you just double it when it's kgs. Just double it down a little more, and that's what the pounds is usually. Yeah. So you want to pick one that you're eventually going to use for swings. And so then I would start someone working on deadlifts first, because a deadlift is kind of that foundational movement of what a swing is. Right. And I think we're going to talk a little bit more about exercises that I would tell people. Do you want me to just go into that?
Yeah. Well, first, can you like just give us a sneak peek of your kettlebell stash over here? Like, do you have 500 kettlebells, or you just have like a select few?
I have a stash.
You have a good amount.
I have a good amount. I lent a lot of mine out because I used to teach live classes. I still do over Zoom, but here in Ann Arbor. So when the pandemic hit, I had bought, you know, a gazillion of them.
Oh, and smart.
Yeah.
So you got on before they all sold out.
Yeah, I had them long before. And so I was teaching live classes. So when the pandemic hit and everything shut down, I was just like, hey, to my clients, take these bells. Like, take them, and then, so they all have them at home. So this is what I have left.
So what's your heaviest, this is off kilter, I'm just curious. Yeah. What's your heaviest kettlebell that you have?
I have a 53-pound bell, but I have twos of everything that I have.
So you can do dual stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You don't need to have two. That's extra. This is what I do, so I have one.
Yeah, this is your thing. This is your jam. True. Okay, awesome. So no less than 15 pounds, gang. Rule of thumb is if you can front raise it, it's too light. Yeah. So yeah, and of course, I'm sure Gretchen is reachable on Instagram if people have questions about that kind of stuff too. If you want to like touch base with her and like you're thinking about this kettlebell, you know, you can message her on Instagram. Great, awesome. Okay, so now that they've got their kettlebell that they can't front raise, what are one or two super simple, easy exercises they should start with? Total beginner.
Perfect. Okay? Total beginner. deadlifts. Okay, so when you're thinking about, I'm gonna try to back up to make sure you can see my whole body.
Okay.
I don't know how it's gonna work. I'll do it like mini. When you're thinking about kettlebell swing, which is like the foundational move that you'll eventually work up to, like I said, it's really just a fast deadlift. So I want to start with deadlifts. So you start without any weight, and you kind of
you can stand. You can stand. It'll be okay, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So
it'll be fine.
Okay. So it's hip hinging, right? So we want to make sure that we get fun. And I know how good you are with your clients, Leanne. I know all your clients know how to hip hinge. I know they do. So it's that basic foundational movement where you send that tailbone back towards the back wall and then come on up and squeeze the glutes. So you want to be in this position. You want to kind of start with your deadlift without any weight, get good at that, and then get used to grabbing your double-handed here. So then you're doing these ones here, let the bell hang, and you can get good at this hinge by switching hands and doing it offset here. This is called the suitcase deadlift. This is going to train your body to get familiar with an explosive version. So you eventually learn to pick up this pace. I'm just switching on hands. You'd be here because what a swing will eventually be when you're swinging it out is really just a fast deadlift. So training your deadlift would be my number one exercise that I would tell people.
Yeah. Can we just show them real quick without the kettlebell how you were hinged again? Because I think a lot of people mess that up, right? So gang, look at Gretchen when she goes into a standing and she's hinging at her hip. It's super flat, her back. Yeah, her shoulders are back. And then she's, like she said, her cue was drive the shoulders back and down and then drive her tailbone back, right? And that when you saw her deadlift, she kept a really flat back, gang. So see, that's like, I tell people you could balance a stopwatch in the small of her back right there if you look down. So that's the movement. So you're saying start here, then add the kettlebell, and then start playing around with unilateral movement. Okay, gang. So this is called deadlift.
Yeah.
Yes, which is the foundation of the swing, which we all want to be able to do. And the swing, gang, like she said, Gretchen said, is a ballistic movement. So we always want to build up to that. Nice. Do you have one more for us?
I do. I have one more. Farmer's carry. So this one
Farmer's carry. I hear that all the time. What is that?
It's literally, it's just a carry, Leanne. Like, it's really not that complicated, but it does train your grip, which is super important in kettlebells. And also it works your core. Yeah. So when this is kind of the racked position. So I have the bell here. So there's a lot of grip work that goes into holding a bell just because of the shape. So farmer's walks are literally just holding your heavy bell, squaring off your shoulders and not allowing yourself to dump to the side.
Yeah, no.
And then you're walking. You're not walking like this.
Yeah, Gretchen is like totally upping the level for us. Yeah, it's just basically a walk, right?
Right. You're just walking, but your whole goal will be to keep your shoulders level and make sure you're not dumping, and keep your core engaged throughout. So you're working your grip strength and you're building up your core in order to get ready to progress to the swings.
Gang, so that was the farmer's carry. So yeah, don't miss the point. Like Gretchen said, the whole point is to keep your body balanced and not leaning to one side. How many times do we hear our ladies? I mean, I spent 10 years in corporate in an office, so a lot of the ladies I worked with had frozen shoulder, one side, because they wore their heavy work bags on one side, right? So same kind of concept, I think, here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Gretchen, but holding the kettlebell so that the shoulders stay even and that you're not like leaning to like get that kettlebell. And so what is you're just doing it for time or distance, or what do you think? Then you switch hands?
You switch hands. You can go for distance. You know, I mean, now most of us are in, well, actually you're not. You're all outside. But here we're all outside. We're all inside. So, you know, so sometimes it's time. It's like 30 seconds back and forth holding it in one side, and then 30 seconds back and forth holding it the other side. I mean, it kind of depends. You can throw in farmer's carries anywhere. You can throw deadlifts in anywhere into your strength building routine. I think just adding those in, if you weren't already doing them, I think would take you great strides into being able to use the bell.
Just a great, like, easy, simple add-on, right? For core, for balance, stability. Now, what do you feel like? I know you said it's a lot about grip strength, and what I find is, you know, I train a good group of 60 plus, and their fingers are starting to get more arthritic. Do you think this is a good way to help combat that or build it, or do you think they should shy away from it because they're fearful of gripping the thing?
No, I don't think they should shy away from it. I actually have a fairly large over 60 clientele, over 50 clientele myself, and I think there's more fear than anything. I think when you build up, yes, exactly. when you build up, I mean, it's scary. It's intimidating. I even have a
Right.
little one and I feel like it's intimidating. It's a big bell. It's a round thing with a handle.
Yeah.
What? You know?
It's like, it looks weird.
Yeah, exactly. It looks weird. But I think, you know, I think that just having your hands on it and being able to hold it is a real great exercise. And I often, you know, just train the racked position. So this is a racked position here. Just holding it here and walking, this would be another beginner exercise, is to be able to train this. So this is another situation where we're looking for a nice straight arm and a nice straight wrist. So we're working on wrist strength and on grip strength.
Yeah.
Also here, that shoulder stability, not letting ourselves dump. So we're working that core as well. And just walking in a rack position well is another way. Super safe, right?
Can we show them a couple of ways that people incorrectly hold the kettlebell? Because I see that a lot too, that they don't get it yet, so that
There's
right?
a lot of this one. But then there's like ones that you can do. This is an advanced hold. This is called bottoms up, you know. This one's going to work. This one's going to work even more of your wrist work into that forearm and more into your shoulder. So I think the biggest thing that I see people is that they kind of hold it on the inside.
Yeah.
So you want it to be resting kind of gently on the outside of your wrist, and you want the handle to be in the hook of your thumb here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you don't want it break, right? You don't want a wrist. You want a solid, straight wrist. You don't want to break in the wrist, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
And you also want it when you have it in rack position, you want to make sure that you're nice and tight here, so that if someone were to walk by you and kind of push into you, you wouldn't fall over because you're nice and solid here. So this is a super solid foundation from which to press, to move in other directions. So you want to make sure that you're tight and locked in here. Shoulder back, straight forearm, straight wrist, decent amount of grip on the bell.
Nice. Yeah, I think people, I find that a lot of my people have sort of hang-ups that the weight touches them, right? They're not used to, like, the kettlebell has to lean on them, or and I'm like, no, it's fine, you know. But so this is an off note, but so how did you decide that you wanted to, like, why did you decide you wanted to add kettlebells into, like, your personal trainer arsenal? Like, did you have a passion for it, or?
As a trainer, I had always seen them at the gym and was kind of like everybody, I think, when they first see them, like, what are those things? Like, what are you doing with them? So I just kind of picked them up, and I got like a base level certification many years ago. And I was like, well, this is fantastic. And so I was so excited about it. And I went to the gym that I was working at the time, and I was like, listen, I really love kettlebells. Like, I want to teach it. I just got certified. So I got more involved in it as I built a program myself. So I built a program.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So your gym was like open, like, yeah, let's bring this thing in. Hey,
totally.
That's awesome.
I know.
And
so
then you just started from there, like it just.
I got another certification, and I just kept going. And I should say that one of the main things that I loved so much about kettlebells is once I started using them, I had 2 kids, and my second kid, I had a lot of back pain, and everything that I was doing wasn't working until I started consistently swinging bells, and I have not had back pain since then. And I think that's such a misconception, right?
Yes, I was just going to say that. You know, everybody, I have, you know, some of my older clients that just don't even want to try body weight deadlifts or any kind of swinging motion just because they have this intense fear.
Yeah, I know.
And it's such a misperception.
It really is, because the reality is that a swing is actually using all those muscles in your back, including your glutes, and those are the muscles that get you out of pain.
Right.
It seems counterintuitive. And if actually, to be completely honest, if you're swinging a kettlebell wrong, you're going to fuck up your back. Like that's going to happen. But you build up to that. You work on your deadlifts. You know, have a trainer, have you watch them and make sure they're doing it right. And it's the best exercise. I've had older people come in scared shitless about swinging a bell, and then just be floored at how good they feel after consistently swinging.
And isn't that so amazing how that when they kind of walk through that messy, uncomfortable feeling and they do it, and how empowered they feel, right? From moving that, from the technique, right? I always tell my clients, look, motion is lotion. Yes, the back is sore. The answer is not to move, not to sit on your butt and not move because it's sore. It's about figuring out, okay, how can we move mindfully so that we can start like lubricating all that stuff in there. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, so then I know we have a lot of coaches watching us too. Do you have a recommendation on a kettlebell certification for trainers out there? Do you have a favorite or a go-to, or do you offer one?
I don't offer one, but I do. My favorite certification that I did was through Living Fit, which on IG it's Kettlebell Kings, and I trained under, back in the days when you could actually do in-person things, I trained under Marcus Martinez. His handles at Kettlebell Exercises, and he's like their head trainer there. He's fantastic, and I really appreciate his technique in kind of combining the ballistics and the grinds together. And yeah, so I was
Living Fit, Kettlebell Kings.
Yep.
Yep, Martinez. What was his name again?
Marcus Martinez. His handle is at Kettlebell Exercises is his handle on IG.
Okay, cool. And then, okay, so let's tell our viewers where they can find you or reach out to you, and if you have anything coming down the pike in terms of kettlebell programming and training for anybody who might be interested.
Yeah, so my handle's at Coach Gretchen Meyers.
At Coach Gretchen Meyers, gang.
Yep. Meyers. And I am actually currently, right now, tomorrow's the last day of early registration. I'm offering an 8-week kettlebell skills program. So it teaches you, it's a workout each week. We go through a new skill each week. There's videos. There's a 10-minute mobility video in there because I'm a big believer in moving your body in all the ways. So there's that aspect of it too. A private Facebook group and a Zoom calls, 4 Zoom calls throughout the 8 weeks. So that's going. It starts on February 8th. Registration is open until the 5th, I think. And then, yeah, I do one-on-one training as well. And I offer live Zoom classes, but it's usually not in everybody's favorite time zone. So.
I know, right? It's going to be like at 2 a.m.
Right.
So is that for enrolling? Is it linked in your bio on your
Yep, there's a link right in my bio. Yep.
Yeah, that's such a great opportunity to work with Gretchen in a one-on-one capacity in like a group coaching setting. It's so high touch with all the access. So gang, any questions? I know we have a lot of viewers out there. Is there any questions for Gretchen as we wrap up? Anybody? Let me wave to all the people watching us. Are both kids homeschooled? I mean, virtual still? No,
they're literally doing school. They're doing school in the room right there.
I know. I kind of watch your post or whatever. You guys got into a groove though, huh?
This is my basement gym. Like, this is where I am. That's where they are. My husband's working upstairs. You know how it goes. I know.
Do your kids, are they interested in kettlebells?
No, not really.
Oh, not yet. No. Okay.
I think they were when they were little, and now they're just like, yeah, that's mom's thing.
Yeah, that's your thing, mom. I don't want to do it. It's not cool, right? If mom's doing it. But little do they know, like, their mom is like the coolest shit, right?
They don't know that. I don't know why they don't know.
They'll know in a couple of years. I appreciate my mom a lot more now than I did probably back, when I was that age.
Yeah, for sure. Totally. Agreed.
Well, thank you so much, Gretchen. I really appreciate you doing this for us and my group.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. This was super fun. I'm so glad we got to do it.
All right. Well, I'll send you the video.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Bye, guys. Have a great day from
Bye, everybody. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.